Hey everybody, coming at you live, or I feel like I'm half alive from my gear room. Those are my long-term subscribers and friends will know that I have been working a annual shutdown, and I'll explain what that is for people that don't know. What it is whenever you have a mill or factory and you have a shutdown once a year, and it's where you shut everything down and you tear everything apart and you repair, modify, upgrade, and it's a lot of hours. I'm a machinist and a welder and a fabricator. Most of the time I'm a machinist, but I've been working 7 days a week straight, 12 hours a day for close to 3 weeks. And as of the filming of this, it's like 8:30 at night and I'm very tired. And I only got 3 days left. I'll get to go back to 8 hours and then I'll have next weekend off. But I have to have something to upload for a Friday. Now, enough of that. I've been thinking about it. I thought to myself, gee, I haven't planned a video. What could I do? What could I say? What could I show? So I got to thinking about a comment that's been on my mind that a friend of mine made a few weeks ago. And I'm not going to say that the comment was, I'm scared of setting up a 72-hour bag, or I fear. It's more like they were stressing out over it because they were worried about, what am I going to put into it, and you just freak out and you're like, oh, 72 hours, 3 days away from home. And it's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to show you that it's really not that big of a deal at all. Now, there's a dude on YouTube. Some of you probably know him. His name's Chris Tanner. He did a video a couple of years back, and I don't remember the name of it, but basically he said something that rings true. All bags are different. All kits are different. Nobody's bag is the same because people are different. You're different. Your medical needs are different. The area you're in is different. Some urban, some wilderness, some Arctic, some desert, some woods. So no bag is the same. But the basic idea of the needs and the comforts can be addressed. And the thing about a 72-hour, if you want to call it a 72-hour bug-out bag or a 72-hour emergency bag, whatever you want to call it, it's not this crazy. It doesn't necessarily have to be this crazy end-of-the-world thing with the zombie apocalypse and everybody, taking over and stuff. But I mean, it can be as simple as some of the things that's happened around here lately. Tornadoes, floods, anything. Any reason that you need to get away from your house and stay gone, or any reason that you have to stay gone, or any reason that you can't get home. That's what these bags are for. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with what I consider to be the bare minimum. Alright? Something that this is just a bare minimum, and then I'm going to go over there to that other table and show you something that gives you a little bit more comfort. But, basically, it's nothing to fret over. You're not going to die. So, I'm going to lift the camera up a little bit, and then we'll get into this. This, in my mind, is the absolute basic kit. Okay? Now, if you have, not everybody has really good survival skills, but if you do have survival skills, honestly, you could get by with a 2-quart canteen, and some sort of water purifying drops or water purifying tablets. But that is for completely advanced people. I honestly believe you could last 3 days with just a canteen. You would be very extremely miserable and you would lose weight, but you would make it. Now, for your average person, it's not going to be like you're staying at the Holiday Inn or anything, but this basic kit right here, what this is this is a woodland camo butt pack attached to a GI pistol belt. Something you grab real quick and you put around you and you're good to go. Okay? Now, you're not going to be living in a lap of luxury, but when you have something like this, you can pair this up with, like, grab you a Gore-Tex jacket of some kind of a waterproof type jacket, which would be great to grab with that, but not necessarily, because what you can do is down here under the bottom under these straps is carry a poncho, because a poncho is everything. A poncho protects you from the rain. You can wrap it around you and turn it into a sleeping bag. You can make a tarp out of it. And, or of course you can wear it in the rain. A poncho is just, it's so useful. Anything you can do with it, okay? That's an essential part of a minimalist kit. Now let's open this up, look in here for a minute. Now this is just absolute minimal kit. One of those little bitty tack bivvies, something you can crawl into to keep yourself warm. That and this is pretty much all you need, at least in my area, because it doesn't get extremely cold. If it does get very extremely cold, you'll need a little more. Okay, multi-tool, alright? That's all you need is a knife and a few other little odds and ends in there, okay? Multi-tool's nice. You need a water filter because hydration is very, 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 very important, okay? You'll need a carrier of some kind for your water, which is, you know, a canteen, okay? So you get your hydration needs met. You have to stay hydrated. You have to have water. If you don't have water, you'll die. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to freak you out. That's just part of the minimalist kit, okay? Little bitty tiny first aid kit, just a basic little first aid kit with some, you know, some aspirin, some ibuprofen, and some Imodium, stomach medicine, diarrhea medicine, antacid, just the basic needs. In here, okay, this is the rest of the kit. There is nothing else in this bag. This is absolute basic minimalist kit. Okay, now this, something you got to understand something. Let me ease this up here so I can face you for a minute. You got to understand something. You're not Rambo, okay, and you're not Davy Crockett, and you're not Daniel Boone, and you're not Grizzly Adams, okay? So when you see these bags that contain all these traps and snares and all this kind of stuff, you don't need that, okay? You're like just remember what I say. You're not Rambo, okay? You just want your basic needs fulfilled, and this is the minimalist kit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at this now. All right, here is a little headlamp so you can see at night. Okay, strap it to your head. Here is a little flashlight so that you can see out in front of you the path. Here is a little bit of toilet paper that you're going to need. Okay, here's a do-rag. You can either wrap it around your neck, you can wrap it around your head, or wrap it completely over your head to cover up if you have bugs, mosquitoes, things like that. Okay, or you can take it, and if you don't have the water filter, and you're prone to having to boil water, then what you can do with that is that you can strain, you can filter, not purify, but filter into this cup, and then start a fire, and then purify by boiling. Remember, there's a difference in purifying and boiling. Okay, so do-rag's multi-purpose. Also, if you need to cover up a wound that the first aid kit doesn't cover. A lighter for starting fire. The thing about a lighter is don't just throw a lighter into your pack. It needs to be in some sort of a container so that you don't hold this lever down. Alright? This particular container, you could hang it around your neck if you had to, which is pretty handy. Now, this is the realistic nuts and bolts of the kit. Okay? Three protein bars and 3 Cliff bars. Okay? Now, let's talk about this for a minute. Has old Dave lost his mind? No. This is minimalist kit. Okay? You're not going to die in 3 days. Okay? You're not going to starve to death. It is not going to happen. Now, you might be miserable and you might be lacking in energy, but every morning have a Cliff bar and drink some water. Every evening have a protein bar, or vice versa. Okay? That right there is day 1, day 2, day 3. If you're out there more than 3 days, you shouldn't have brought a kit like this. We're just talking about 72 hours or less. But honestly, that is the basic kit. Oh, and the bowl here is for boiling larger amounts of water. You store water in here, you boil water in here. Alright. Now, that's about just as minimalist kit as can be. Alright. So now let's move over to the more comfortable kit. Like I say, this is the you're not gonna die kit. That kit over there is going to be just so much more comfortable. Okay, and I'm going to talk about, you can carry all this stuff with that. And I'll probably carry a few of these things over to that table, I think. So let's move over there and talk about it. All right, moving along to the bigger kit. Okay, let's talk about some of the things. Now, I haven't got this stuff in this bag. And I'm not going to put it in this bag because it just takes too long to pack this thing, okay? But you know, what you need is, this is just a medium-sized rucksack, okay? And what this is a, I forget the name of it. I think it's an alpha code alpha. That's the name of it, okay? And I don't use this much for hiking. Matter of fact, I don't use it for hiking at all. I use Alice packs because this is, you know, the 72-hour bug out bag, okay? It's got MOLLE webbing on it. It's got a compartment here with some dividers and things. It's got another compartment here with a mesh bag, and then it's got the main compartment, and then it's got some little compartments right in here. Now, the cool thing about this bag is, and then of course it's got some places on the bottom for strapping things. Let me show you something here. Let me zip some of this stuff back here. Now, the cool thing about this bag is it is expandable. You don't necessarily have to have a big bag or a small bag, okay? With this bag, it has a zipper on the side. See this zipper right here on the side? This thing will expand from like 4 inches wide to about 8 inches wide, okay? So depending on your kit. Now what I do, there was an old trick that people talked about people bring their bags and they just cram pack everything in them and there's no room in them. Well, what happens if you're on the trail and you find things that you pick up and want to carry with you? Okay, get an expandable pack like this or leave room in it. That way you can pack everything in here, and then when you have room, or when you find some more things, then you'll unzip it and expand it, okay? Or, in the summertime, mine stays zipped up. In the wintertime, I need extra insulation, so I open it up, okay? I have more room, but this is the same one. Now, the belt, of course, you can strap things to the shoulder straps, which is cool. You can strap pouches to them, which is handy. I lost the pouch on this side. Now, the belt itself, the kidney belt, is handy because, I'll show you it has pouches that you can zip up for things that you want to use. Like if you want to keep a notepad or a pen in here or something, things that you need quick access to, or your compass, you know, whatever. So, alright, you'll need a little bit bigger bag, alright, a little bit more advanced, right? You'll definitely need a 2-quart canteen, okay? Now, in these 2-quart canteens, I usually keep a lighter right here in this little pouch, either a lighter or water purification tablets, alright? So, that's that. Alright, now let's look at some of these other things here and talk about them. Alright, your bug out bag, okay? Now, I have water filters that I use in my other packs, and they stay in my other packs because I use them all the time. I use them at least once a week, you know, whatever. And when they get used, they're A-okay. You don't want to put an old used water filter into your bug out bag because you won't be using it that often. So go ahead and spring for a brand spanking new water filter. Don't open it, okay, and leave it in your bug out bag. That way it's not going to sit in there for 6 months and get a bunch of mold and bacteria growing in it. Okay, makes sense? Just another tip from your old Uncle Dave. Alright, you need a comprehensive first aid kit. Now, I'm working on developing a first aid kit that you can open one-handed. Something like this I don't like, but this is just a basic kit that you have to unzip. I'm going to modify a bag, and I haven't got around to it, but you need a kit that you can get to quickly, and preferably Velcro rip off the top, or be able to Velcro rip it open with one hand and dump the contents out on the ground, okay? First aid, okay? Do not put medicine and hygiene in this kit because you don't want to dig through a big, that's the biggest mistake people make, is they put like their tummy pills and their shampoo and their lotions in here. When you're cut, when you're broken, bleeding, or bruised, or just whatever, you don't want to have to dig through a bunch of stuff. You want your first aid, okay? And put that on, preferably either on the top of your pack or the outside of your pack. Alright, now let's look at these other 2 pouches right here. Now, because these are, what's in here? I'm not going to open it yet. Okay, now this Okay, this is the medicine and hygiene kit. Okay, it's got like toothpaste, soap, lotion, toothbrush, ibuprofen for your headaches, Imodium for your stomach, you know, maybe something for bug spray, poison ivy. This is separate. Hygiene and medicine. Okay, medical and first aid is two different things. Keep them separate. Okay, that's more part of the comprehensive bag. All right. So now let's look in here. Let's see what's in here. Okay, in this other bag right here, let's see. Have a compass. Okay. Have a wind-up radio, a wind-up weather radio, because of the simple fact that the reason that you may be bugging out, it's a wind-up radio with a solar panel. This is an Eton Scorpion. The reason that you would want some of this is because one of the reasons for your bugging out may possibly be a tornado, or, you know, it's already flooded and you're getting like 6 inches of rain in your house and everything is underwater. So carry a wind-up weather radio. You need to be informed. And in here I have, okay, now people that know me and have seen my videos in the past, they're going to say something about this. Well, old Dave's got something to say. My long-term wilderness bug-out bag, I said no electronics. None. No, no, no. Because they don't last for a year or two. But if you're going to be gone for 3 days, carry your cell phone and carry a spare battery. Okay? Carry something you can charge with. This is Easy ACC. It's a good one. This is a good one, and there's another one called Jackery Jack that's a good one. Okay? So you want to charge your stuff up. So carry a battery and keep it charged. Okay? You're going to want toilet paper, of course. You're not an animal. You're going to want, okay, for each day, just like I said, you're going to carry protein bars and Cliff Bars, and 3 bags of trail mix. Okay? That's going to be just like an extra snack. And you're going to want some MREs. Preferably MREs with dessert. Now these are the MREs that come with the heaters, so that you don't have to have a fire if you don't want to. Okay? Heaters that heat the food up automatically. And a dessert. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what this is. Penny pasta with spicy vegetable sausage. And what is this? This is, I think this is a almond poppy seed pound cake. That is so good, right? So throw in a couple of MREs, you know, those are good. It'll give you a good meal, you know, it'll boost your spirits. Okay, so we're going to throw those in. What else do we have here? Okay, you want to bring a cup, all right, because you're not an animal. Just because you smell like a pig doesn't mean you have to act like one. All right, lantern. Lantern is a good thing. You want a lantern so that you can see with extra batteries. Carry extra batteries, okay? As far as tools go, let's see, what's this? I ain't gonna get that yet. Oh, a little bit of cordage, whatever amount you don't have to carry a mini rope like this, but I like rope. I'm gonna carry rope, and then some paracord, which is good. Throw that in there. Your shelter needs. Let's see, for shelter needs. Now, if you live in the desert and there's no trees, this won't work. Okay, but for old Dave, this works. This is tailored for me. All right. When it starts getting warm, I ain't laying on the ground. All right. There's a possibility. Now, for my bug out bags, whether it's winter or summer, I try to carry a hammock. Now, for the winter time, I carry a regular hammock with an underquilt and an overquilt, and the quilts are attached to the bottom of my pack. I switch over in the summertime to a regular hammock with bug net. Now, this is a hammock with a bug net with a suspension all in one. This is it's a cheap hammock. It's made by Yukon Outfitters. I got it off Amazon. Okay, it's a good hammock for you know, with a bug net. Then I have a 10 by 10 tarp. Why have I got such a big tarp? Because I can. I don't know. This is I think this is a snug pack all weather shelter, and I just don't want to skimp on a tarp because you may be in heavy rain. Don't want to skimp on it. I also have a silk bag liner. It's like, I don't know, it's like an extra layer of protection, and it don't weigh much. You know, sometimes I carry that. Not always. Sometimes I do. Now, let's look in here. Actually, let me move the camera over just a little bit before we get into this. All right, let's talk about a little bit more stuff. I'm kind of going, this is not real organized. I'm kind of going out of sink on this with, you know, you should be like, oh, tools, clothing, shelter. Ooh. I'm just kind of jumping around because all this stuff is thrown out on the table before I went to work. Okay. A little baggie with super glue, tape, and safety pins. All right, safety pins are great. Safety pins are good. When you carry your compass, be sure and carry your compass. It's got a mirror for in case you got to dig something out of your eye, or for if you have to see your face or see your eye or something. And safety pins are good for digging splinters out of your hands and things. And super glue and the tape is good. A lot of people carry duct tape. I don't. I carry electrical tape. It seems to be a little bit more handy. You know, no big deal. Carry duct tape if you want to. All right. Now, some people would carry an axe. I wouldn't. I'll carry a machete with a knife with a ferro rod. All right. Now, I have my lighter, okay, and it's what I'm going to use. But the ferro rod is a good backup. All right. The machete, possible shelter building, possible firewood. You know, it's a lot safer than an axe. You got to be highly skilled with an axe before you carry one and are willing to use one in a drastic situation. If you carry a machete, it's pretty hard to get hurt, you know, with a machete. Knife, it's always handy to have one of them. That's a good thing to have. One of the safest tools that you can carry is a saw. You need a folding saw. This is a little bitty one. This is a Silky Pocket Boy. Excellent saw. Good for firewood, good for shelter building. It's a very safe tool, very safe. If you injure one arm, you can use that no problem, one arm. All right, carry some safety glasses. You don't want to get any thorns poking in your eyes. That would be horrible. Or if you're chopping wood, you know, with a machete, you don't want to get anything in your eye. All right. Let's see, this survival tube tent. Ooh, survival. That's something handy because you never can tell when it's going to come in handy, and it's cheap and it doesn't weigh nothing. And you know, I'm always buying these things and stuffing them in packs everywhere because they do come in handy. So throw that in. Let's see. Okay, now I have a bag right here. Okay, put your stuff in bags because once you get to your destination, you can fill this with regular clothes and use it as a pillow. Okay, now let's look and see what's in Dave's bag. Alright, we have a full rain suit, pants and shirt. Okay, if you wear one of these ponchos, okay, these ponchos are good because it's rain protection and it's a shelter and it's like a bedroll. But the thing is, your legs can get wet. If you're in a really torrential rain, just get you a rain suit and throw it in there. That way you'll be covered head to toe. Also, if you're a minimalist and you're going to use this for your shelter, you may need to wear this. Okay, so a full rain suit is good. A lot of people don't carry them. Now, what do we have in here? Okay, we have a fleece hat, fleece cap. Keep your head warm. All right, that's a must. Pair of gloves. Gloves are always handy. All right, and we have in here a hat. Okay. This is a neat little fold-up hat. Now, the idea behind a hat like this is a hat with a built-in bug net. If you can't find a hat like this with a built-in bug net, then find you a bug net and a hat. Okay. Now, the good thing about this is in the summertime, you can wear this, okay, and it keeps the sun off of you. That's a plus. You don't want to get burnt, okay. The other thing is that you can take the bug net and pull the bug net down and keep the bugs away from you. Now, I've actually had to sleep like this before. All right. The other good thing about this, which maybe you won't need since you got the safety glasses, is if you're going through thick brush, you can lean your head down and just go through, and the brim will push the brush through. Okay. So that's pretty cool. All right. Have a hat in there with a bug net or with a bug net built in. Okay. All right. That is so handy. Bugs are terrible. Bugs will make you miserable. All right. Let's see what's else in this bag. Something else people don't talk about is your feet. We should talk about your feet because a lot of people, I'm like, okay, 2 pairs of socks. All right. Why? All right. If you're like me and you wear boots, okay, let's say you're wearing boots. All right. Let's say you want to go all Bear Grylls Discovery Channel. Ooh, ooh, I'm gonna cross this river. What's gonna happen if your boots get wet? All right. you're going to be in a world of hurt. Your boots are wet, your socks are wet. It's not good, okay? If you're going to cross a river, carry sandals or Crocs even. Carry something. Take your boots off, strap them to your pack, and cross the river with these, okay? Now, the other thing about these is you're going to be wearing these stinking sweaty boots all day with your socks. Well, when you get to camp, you can't wear these constantly because your feet will be in miserable shape. So when you get to camp, take these off and put on some sandals and walk around camp with sandals. You'll be so much more comfortable. And carry extra socks in case you get wet. And rotate the socks too if you have to every couple of days. I mean, it's a comfort item. And make sure that one of the pairs is an extra long pair. All right. That way, if you have to, you can put them on your arms and use them for some sort of arm protection, like I don't know, or warmth. You may want to keep your arms warm. You can have that 2 pairs of socks on your feet and a pair on here. Right? Just, I don't know, one pair of them needs to be long, or if you have to, you know, put them on and pull them all the way up above your knees. All right, do that. Now, the other thing, 2 extra pairs of socks. The other thing, carry some sort of thermal underwear of some kind. Okay, polyester, you know, nylon, whatever, or if you want to, the old-fashioned cotton kind. Here's the thing: your body constantly sweats, constantly condensates, and as it's doing it, your clothes are getting moist. Okay, if you get into a sleeping bag and you're wearing your clothes and you're wearing your jacket or hammock and you're wearing them, you're going to freeze. Believe it or not, and you must listen to this, if you take off your clothes and your jacket and you put on these that have not been worn all day, simple thermal underwear, you will be warmer just wearing this than if you wore the other stuff, because this stuff's dry. Okay, and you can take the other stuff you had, stuff it in a bag if you want to, use it in a pillow, or preferably you're going to hang it up somewhere. Take some of this cordage and hang your clothing up and let it dry. Okay, now one last thing that I'm going to talk about that is directed towards a bug out bag. Okay, I don't have to move over, I don't think. Well, yeah, I have to change camera angle. If you live in a reasonably cold or cool climate, or should I say, wherever you are, it gets cold at night, something that warrants a huge benefit for a bug out bag is things that don't take up a lot of room. And things that are effective that don't take up a lot of room is down. Okay, goose down, feather down. Okay, keeps you warm, and it just, like this is a down vest. To me, there's 3 stages of down depending on where you live, and that is there's a vest, and then there's the jacket, and then there is the hooded jacket. Okay, there's 3 stages of down. Okay, now these things, the reason that I like them so much is because they literally compress down to nothing. Okay, I mean, they literally, this thing, it compresses down to nothing. This can be compressed down into like a baseball size. If I had to, if I worked hard enough, I might could shove it in this cup. All right. I mean, they warrant so much use. They're wonderful. Some people call them puffy jackets. Now, a good thing to buy, there's several brands that they come with a bag that you can, in the pocket, that you can cram the stuff into. This is an L&L Bean jacket. Let's see, what does it say on the tag here? Okay, the shell is 100% nylon, and the insulation is goose down, 100% goose down. Okay, that's some good stuff. Now, one of the good things about this that I like, matter of fact, it's called Down Tech. Down Tech, water repellent down. All right. One of the good things here is it's got a little zipper that says stowaway. There's a pocket on the inside. Okay, so let's just unzip this. And what does it do? This comes out just like that. All right. So what you can do with that is, I believe the way that works. Let's see. No, I put it back in. I pulled it out just to show it to you. What you can do Now I'm going to look like an idiot. No, that ain't how it works. Wait a minute. How does this work? Yeah, okay. Look at this. You hold this up, and it's hard to get started because I haven't done it in a long time, but what you do is you turn the jacket inside out into the pocket. That's how it is. Oh, that reminds me of one more thing I'm going to show you real quick. It's very cool. It could have a place in your bug out bag. Let's see if I can see this. Turn this inside out. Alright, okay. And then once you've got that done, you zip it up, and there's your jacket. Now you can further compress this, but for long-term storage, you don't want to leave down compressed for a very long time. So this is pretty handy because it's really not that compressed, but you could compress this down way further. See? Because that's the beauty of down. But you don't want to keep it compressed for a long time. Let's see. Yes, one more thing I'm going to show you that I'm thinking about. Alright? Right here. I thought about it at the last minute because not many people know this. Alright, this is the, I think it's called Extended Cold Weather System. And what this is the military Gore-Tex jacket. Okay? Now, with this thing you got a pocket right here, and you got pockets right here. Alright? Let's open up on the inside. Let's take a look. Right here it's got this thing that you can strap around you to keep the wind out. This thing right here, it's elastic and it keeps it out. Now, this is the cool part that I'm surprised, and of course it's got a hood. These things are great for keeping on your bug out bag. Well, you can also keep a few survival items in this because, see where the zipper is? You're going to love this. These things have a hidden Velcro compartment inside them. You can put all kinds of stuff inside there, which I think is cool because if you had this, there's not much insulation in here at all. So what you could do is to where this thing is, you could pull this apart, and then you could cram a vest in there so that you could have another layer. Ain't that cool? And then there's another one on the other side. If you've got one of these Gore-Tex military jackets, you can look at it and you can keep all kinds of things inside there and it'll keep them good and dry. Isn't that cool? And so if you got this and it's raining and you're like, okay, it's raining. Well, then it starts snowing. You're like, ooh, I'm getting cold. Well, there you go. Pull the vest out. You got the extra insulation. The beauty of down. That's about it. I've kind of run through this thing. Oh, let's see. One more thing I'm going to talk about over here before I let you go. I want to give a big thank you to some of my viewers. I can't remember if it was one or two. I can't remember, but a couple of videos back when I was sewing some stuff together and I took the fabric and I was taping it together. Because, you know, I was always under the impression you either tape it together or you pin it together. Well, one person or two people, they said, why don't you order some sewing clips? And I'm like, sewing clips? I'm like, what is that? And I thought, sewing clips, that'd be pretty cool. So I got on Amazon, I got to looking, and they had sewing clips. 100 sewing clips for $8.99. And so I'm like, well, that's cheap. You know, I'll order them. And I saw the picture of them, and I thought, oh, these old junky looking plastic things, they can't be good. And I'm like, $8.99, I'll try them. Well, guess what, folks? You need to order some of these and put them in your kit. You know why? Because they are small and they're super, super, super strong. Alright? What you can do with these things, these little bitty clips, these are unbelievable strong. Unbelievable. And if you want to take like some grabber blankets or a tarp or whatever, or a couple of ponchos, you know, you can take and combine your shelters. Okay, if you wanted to do that, these clips are so tiny that you could literally use them for clipping these things together. And as a matter of fact, if you had to, you could even fold some things up, and I think these would be strong enough to make water carriers. But these are sewing clips. And I gotta say, thank you so much for suggesting them. Of course, I'm going to use them for sewing, but these, I can't believe how strong these things are. It's mind-boggling. So, anyway, by the time this video is uploaded to YouTube, hopefully I'll be back on 8 hours a day. And I got a lot of plans for when the weather's warming up. Hopefully someday I'm gonna get out my kayak and my boat and do a little bit on there. More shelters, more cooking, a lot more cooking. Once the rain's gone, a lot more cooking. So I hope you picked up a few little odds and ends here. Maybe I've got some stuff to offer that some of the other bug out videos didn't offer. Maybe I gave you some ideas. Like I say, remember what I said about the down jackets? That warrants a lot of use in a bug out bag. So, all right. Till the next one, I shall see you then. Wait a minute, that's not what I say. Oh, I shall see you in the next one.